Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This video is going to be doing my fight video prediction for UFC 160, co-main event, Alistair Overeem versus Junior Dos Santos. Finally. Strangest thing about the whole situation is that a year ago we were all thinking that once Alistair Overeem and JDS finally met, it would be for the belt, it would be for the championship, and Alistair would probably still be undefeated, just like JDS. And the strange part is that they both lost. Yeah, they both lost. I mean, JDS was looking unstoppable. He was undefeated in the UFC, knocking everybody out, knocked Cain out the first time, left us no reason to think that Cain would probably be able to beat him, aside from maybe people just being big fans of Cain. And then next thing you know, Cain comes back for the rematch and beats the shit out of him in a very dominating performance. To make matters even stranger, Alistair Overeem takes a pickup fight. In other words, he was offered a direct shot at the title the next time JDS was available, or the champion, Cain now, would be available, which is May. And he says, no, I don't want to wait. I want to take another fight now, get paid, make some money. Just give me an opponent. I don't care who it is. I'll fight anybody. And I'll fill it in so I can get a fight now and then fight for the title in May. So I can get another fight this year and make extra money, right? Of course, because let's be honest here, it's all about making money and making a living. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody has to make a living. So he takes the fight. Next thing you know, everything's going according to plan. The first 2 rounds, he's throwing Bigfoot around like a rag doll. He's getting in a little bit of ground and pound, getting in a few shots. We kind of could see something was up there because he wasn't as aggressive as usual, wasn't able to really capitalize on it too much. And then in the 3rd round, Bigfoot finally takes the offensive after being defensive and turtling up the whole time, basically, in a defensive mode. Goes on the offense and knocks Alistair Overeem the F out in one of the most dynamic knockouts we've seen in a really long time. It wasn't just one punch, combination of maybe, I don't know, 6 to 10 punches, ended up doing it completely till he went down in sort of a Rashad Evans type stanky leg fashion, while Bigfoot's standing over top of him like a monster with his big head screaming down at him. And you can see this picture on Google. Alistair's down there, all stanky-legged. He's looking up, right, dazed and like, what the hell just happened? And then you've got this freaking monster, Bigfoot, just screaming down at him. No one can understand what he's saying. I mean, you can't even. First of all, the guy, his native language is not English. Alistair's native language is not English either, so it's his second language. So there's the barrier there. And then on top of that, Bigfoot sounds like a Sasquatch when he speaks anyway, and his English is really bad. He needs a translator. So nobody can understand what the hell he's saying. He just sounds like a freaking monster screaming down at Overeem. Oh, man. Brings us to today. Okay, so now, where do we go from here? The UFC decides UFC 160 is going to be probably the best UFC of the year, at least for me. Maybe not for you guys, and depending on whether or not that whole Anderson Silva GSP fight will actually happen at some point. Christ. This one will probably be the best of the year. I probably put money on this event, 160, being the best of the year. It's going to take place May, let's see here, just looking it up, 25th, 2013. Here are the bouts that we know of so far. Cain Velasquez versus Bigfoot Silva. His first name's not Antonio. It's just Bigfoot, okay? Just call him Bigfoot. No Antonio, whatever. I don't care about that. Bigfoot. For the heavyweight championship. And then, of course, JDS versus Reem for the probably #1 contendership, I would assume you could refer to it as. So, yeah, this one we'll do JDS versus Reem, and then I'll do another video later for Cain versus Bigfoot, which I think is an interesting fight as well. But this one's the most interesting. This one's the most exciting. This is the one I've been looking forward to for years. At least 2 years I've been looking forward to seeing this fight, because the age-old question is always, how is Alistair's K1 going to match up with JDS's boxing? JDS is a MMA fighter, obviously, that has boxing equivalent to high-level boxing. So professional boxing level boxing in MMA, for MMA. He has had boxing bouts before, and I believe he did win. I think he had at least one professional boxing bout, and he won that. I'm pretty sure. So high-level professional boxer in MMA versus the K1 champion, so the greatest kickboxer in the world at that time, when the K1 was still okay and everything was all right with that, Alistair Overeem. Okay. Now, since then, things have changed. Number one, JDS has lost to Cain, of course. Alistair is now off whatever the hell he was on when he was unstoppable and beating everybody. Next thing you know, he loses to Bigfoot. Now, he's being tested monthly. Alistair's being tested every month to make sure his levels are maximum of 6-1 and under. So this whole 16-1 testosterone level bullshit can't happen anymore. That changes Alistair Overeem as a fighter. Completely changes him as a fighter. He is not the same fighter with a 5-1 test level as he is with a 16-1 test level. It changes his game almost entirely. He is not as aggressive. He is not as strong. His endurance isn't as good. Let's see, what else? I don't want to say he can take more punishment because he always had a subject chin. Even though a 280-pound man punching anybody in the face about 6 times, I don't care how good your chin is, you're going to sleep at that point. No question about it, especially when he's a Sasquatch. So, and let's see, what else? Just overall is, I think, going to be a huge detriment to Alistair's performance. I think the guy that we saw undefeated in MMA for 5 years, knocking out Todd Duffy in like 10 seconds, knocking out Brock Lesnar, or at least breaking his rib or whatever the hell that kick did to him, and ending the fight right then and there. You know, doing all these crazy things, knocking the shit out of Brett Rogers, you know, just ground and pound from hell. What else did he do? I mean, the list goes on and on. Tons of stuff. So that guy, I think, could be gone. I think that guy might be gone. I think the new Alistair Overeem, without the juice, with monthly testing, this is a different dude we're talking about. And some people might argue that with me, but the numbers, you can't argue the numbers. You can't argue the results. Guy's undefeated for 5 years, wins the K1 World Grand Prix, gets caught for shit, gets off the shit, and loses to a mid-tier heavyweight, Bigfoot, the Sasquatch. Now, granted, I'm not taking anything away from Bigfoot, but I don't think Alistair Overeem a year ago, 2 years ago, would have gotten that tired at the end and just kind of slowed down to the point where that right cross really landed. I think he would have been able to either just, you know, just because sometimes Alistair, like in a lot of his matches, his K1 fights and stuff, he'll just turtle up with, you know, his arms and everything, and he's so freaking huge, you can't even get, like, his forearms are like this big. He can like totally cover up his entire head and everything, just from turtling a little, like, you know, blocking. But in that fight, he didn't do that. He was trying to dodge it. He was trying some nonsense. I don't know what he was doing, but it just obviously didn't work in the third round. That being said, JDS's boxing makes Bigfoot's boxing look terrible. Really, really bad. I mean, JDS's boxing is amazing. We all saw what he did to Shane Carwin, which nobody has ever done to him before. He's knocked out everybody. That being said, I don't think this fight's going to a decision either way. Somebody's getting knocked out. And I think this one's really a really close one. I think this is one of the closest fights to call in terms of making a prediction. On one hand, you could see Alistair throwing JDS around like a rag doll. You could see him using the uber knee, which he also did not use against Bigfoot at all, really. You could see him using the clinch, you know, with the knees, throwing his wrestling, judo throws. It's kind of like Alistair's style is sort of like half judo, half wrestling. Like, he uses wrestling, but he also uses a lot of like stances and like judo, standing up high. He's got a really unique grappling style that really works for him because he was throwing Bigfoot around like nothing. So I think he'll be able to throw JDS around pretty good. But the fact of the matter is, I think sooner or later, JDS is going to land, and when he does, I think Alistair's going to go to sleep. I don't think this is the same Alistair that was around 2 years ago. I think this is a different guy. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Alistair. But that being said, I mean, there is still a chance he could out-wrestle him here. If he can get JDS down or he can land an uber knee, he can still knock JDS out too. Alistair can knock out anybody. It could be a right hook like he did against Todd Duffy. It could be an uber knee to the head. It could be ground and pound like against Brett Rogers, because holy shit, if Alistair gets you down and gets a mount on you or anything, he's going to knock the bejesus out of you. And You know, so I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance. And I will also say that Alistair, between Alistair and JDS, Alistair, I like him better as a fighter. At least I did up until him getting caught. At this point, I don't know. I mean, he's kind of paid his dues with what happened to him against Bigfoot. So I guess he's okay. I guess I would lean more towards I like Alistair as a fighter better. However, for a prediction, now that he's off the stuff, whatever he was on, I am going to pick, for a prediction, JDS. I will not bet on it, though, because I don't bet when I think one fighter is going to win, but I like the other fighter better, because then I'm rooting to lose money. It doesn't make sense, right? But I think JDS is going to take this. In terms of odds, I think it's pretty damn close. I'm going to go 60-40 because Alistair did just get knocked out by Bigfoot. If Alistair comes with better cardio, with better can I say better boxing? Okay, better defensive boxing, more aggressive with his knees, with everything, uses the takedown still and doesn't get tired, he'll win this fight. If he, comes out even remotely close to how he looked against Bigfoot, he's getting knocked out because he won't be able to go the distance with JDS. JDS's cardio is even better than Bigfoot's. His boxing, even better than Bigfoot's. He does have good defense, too, and he's really quick. And Alistair may have trouble with that because he's so big now. He didn't used to be as huge, but he's still at 264. Alistair may want to lose about 10 or 20 pounds for this fight. He's not fat, but I just mean he might want to cut down so that his speed can match JDS's. Because if JDS is too fast for him, he's going to get turned into a punching bag. More like a speed bag, actually. Yeah, speed bag. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Next, I'm going to be doing my prediction for Cain V versus Bigfoot, number 2. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev. Same peace.